Is it legal for the government to build a Death Star?
Hey y'all, Attorney Tom here. Quick prelude. Earlier this week, I released a Reddit React video, and at the end of the video, I told you that I actually broke it up into 10 parts, into 2 parts, because the video was actually kind of long. So here's the second part of the Reddit React video. This is r/AttorneyTom. Go check it out, and also feel free to subscribe. My goal is always to make content worthy of your time. All right, back to the Reddit React video.
Can I sue my teammates for stealing kills from me in video games? No. I'm assuming I can't legally on the floor of a Walmart bathroom, but what about urinals and sinks? Still no? Question about getting pulled over on a motorcycle in Illinois. Well, I'm not an Illinois lawyer, and I'm not your lawyer. This isn't legal advice, fun stuff. I've seen instances of police officers pulling over motorcyclists and then taking the keys out of their bike before even talking to them or even while talking to them. Is this legal? Short answer is probably yes. Under the 4th Amendment, you can temporarily detain somebody while you're investigating the cause of action. The key to this is the duration. They can't take out the motorcycle keys and just leave them hanging for a long time. The Supreme Court has said, typical stop can last between, 5, 6, 7 minutes at most to figure out if they have probable cause to arrest and move on forward. But in theory, yeah, they could totally take the keys out of somebody's car. They could do this to regular vehicles as well. By the way, if a police officer orders you out of the car, you have to get out of the car. No ifs, ands, or buts. This is according to the Supreme Court. So that's effectively the same thing as taking the keys out of a motorcycle. They're just worried that the motorcycle person might try to escape, right? Is it legal for the government to build a Death Star? That's a good one. Short answer is yes. I mean, the government is presumably the one who makes the laws, and who's going to tell the government no? Not in space, no, it's illegal to have weapons in space. I'm not sure about that. Maybe that's some international law, but I'm going to break it to you guys. Governments, the people who make the laws, often break the law. I don't know. We're getting way too much. Quick question. Right now I'm in secondary school and I'm considering becoming a lawyer. What would you focus on right now and in the future the absolute most? Oh, so that's a great question. I tell people this all the time. Unlike being a doctor, you can be anything and become a lawyer. There's no prerequisites, right? In order to be a doctor, you need a biology degree or a science degree or whatever. It doesn't matter for be a lawyer. So go to school, study whatever it is you're interested about. You don't need to study law. You don't need to do pre-law. That's garbage. Study something that interests you, and then take those skills and transition it to law school, and then take those skills and be a lawyer. So if you're interested in saving the environment, do environmental studies undergrad, and then go to law school, and then apply what you've learned in both schools together. I would really just urge not to stress out about it. I mean, really, there's so much time to learn the law. It's called law school. Don't freak out about it. You're going to do great. If you want to be a lawyer, it's very achievable. You can do it. And if you want to see what it's like, go intern for a law firm. They often hire runners like high school kids or college kids for the summertime. So you can go and make photocopies, go pick up lunch. You can hold evidence, take it to the courthouse, watch the lawyers do hearings. I did that. I think I worked for 4 law firms before becoming a lawyer. So yeah, just be around it, but don't stress out about it. If you don't intern for somebody, that's okay. Some of the best lawyers I know never interned for a law firm before law school. So just do your thing. Attorney Tom face reveal at 200,000. How many subscribers do we have? It's more than 200,000. Okay, you ready for the face reveal? Face reveal. May an attorney reveal why their client fired them? This is a great question. Oh my God. Here's the deal. As attorneys, we have obligations. One of those obligations is attorney-client privilege, even for our former clients. So there are instances where we cannot reveal why an attorney was fired or why we fired a client. and this is really, really frustrating, for instances where a client is fired or dropped for certain reasons, and then they turn around and they bash you online so badly to respond to their terrible comments. But you can't. And I'm not talking about just me. I vent about this with a lot of lawyer friends. This is very triggering. Can make something that interferes with my neighbors, like a gigantic magnifying glass or some sort of other structure that's like a very shiny glass house. Are there any laws, legislations against that? What is crossing the line and not crossing the line? So again, it's going to depend. You could live in a neighborhood with zoning requirements, so the zoning requirements or restrictive covenants, although those are different, could block you from building your house a certain way. So if you wanted to build a big glass house, that might be prevented. Additionally, even if they're not prevented, if you do things to mess with your neighbors or interfere with their use of their property, you could be sued for nuisance. So even if you're not trespassing on their property, you are devaluing their property. There are famous cases about smells or light. You know, like let's just say I move in and I don't shave or I don't put on deodorant, I just smell terrible. And I smell so bad that my must just literally transfers over to my neighbor's house and it causes their house to reek. Well, I could be sued if it was that bad. Obviously, that's an exaggeration, and I don't think one single person is capable of smelling that bad, but you get the point. Can lawyers refuse to do a case? Absolutely. I'm talking about private practice, like what I'm in. I probably refuse 90% of the people who call my office. I do two types of law, mainly. Catastrophic personal injuries, so think wrongful death, burns, people who get paralyzed in explosions, trucking accidents, maritime vessel collisions, things like that. I'm not like a fender bender, like ow my back hurts lawyer. I do catastrophic personal injury. The other type of law I do is first party insurance work. So when like a storm happens or a fire breaks out on the property and then the insurance company comes back and denies the claim or completely undervalues the claim, those are the two kinds of law cases I do. And I probably deny 90%, 95% of the people who come in my door. You know, people call me all the time. Hey, I need a divorce. Hey, I need a contract reviewed. Hey, I need this. Hey, I need that. Hey, you know, I got arrested. Blah, blah, blah. And I tell them to go away. When people call my office with a case that is not in my wheelhouse, I tell them this. I say, if you need heart surgery, you need to go to a heart surgeon. Not a neurosurgeon or an orthopedic surgeon. A heart surgeon. And I'm not a heart surgeon for your case. And then I explain to them the cases that I take at my law firm, and then I send them on their way. But yes, you can refuse cases. And more so than just that, you can refuse cases just based on personalities. I could have somebody walk into my door, and they could have a great case. And if I don't like them, or they're going to be a pain in the butt to work with, or we're just not compatible, I can tell them to go somewhere else. And I've done that before. Now, pivoting just a little bit, if we're talking about criminal matters, you are entitled to a lawyer if you can't afford one in a criminal matter. If somebody gets trampled in a Black Friday rush, who is liable for the damages? It's a great question. I certainly think you could make the case that the store is going to be liable because it's foreseeable. They know that there's going to be crazy crowds, and so it's their job to provide a safe environment. And if they can't provide a safe environment, then they need to close. So I don't know what that looks like for a store, whether that's having a line, barriers of entry, where one person goes in at a time, or having extra security. But if people die due to your failure to prevent a foreseeable event, which I certainly would argue a trampling during Black Friday rush is a foreseeable event, the store could be held liable. Additionally, there could be liability for the individuals in the crowd, depending on the circumstances, who instigated the mob, how the mob went forward, the individuals who caused the trampling, all those kind of things could play into a factor. So it just depends. Can I buy a soda machine and place it somewhere in public? Now you're thinking. Short answer is probably not. Well, that's a great idea, but you need to have rights to the land where you put the soda machine. So you can't just put it on any sidewalk or in any park. or in front of any busy alleyway or, commercial building or whatever. I mean, if you want to put it in a public park or public walkway or something like that, maybe try contacting the local government. Maybe they'll have a permitting or leasing department where you can engage in a business transaction with them. So if you get falsely imprisoned for a crime, example, bank robbery or murder, after being released from jail, can you commit that crime without being prosecuted? No, those would be two separate instances and you would be prosecuted. Okay, that's it for today's video. I'm planning on doing more of these. My subreddit has really blown up recently. And for anybody who's on the subreddit, I'm really sorry. I don't really go on Reddit on a daily basis and type responses. I actually really dislike writing. So I'm gonna try to do more videos like this to answer the questions. Hopefully it was fun for y'all. It was fun for me. Please make sure you leave any questions, comments, concerns down at the bottom. And please make sure you hit that like button or subscribe button if you're interested in joining this community. So talk to you guys later.